And we are off.
What's going on, people? Hey,
we here.
I missed part 1 of episode 6, and we talking about time, but we back with part 2. I'm Mr. Best, the CFO.
And I'm Mr. John Best, the CEO.
Yeah, and we're here to just make everybody aware of the importance of time, because time is very important. It's a very valuable commodity. Time could actually change your life depending on what you do with it.
That's right.
But yeah, we just here tonight to have a discussion with you guys, to get your viewpoints. We're going to put out our viewpoints, and we're also going to go to our segment of the podcast. Two questions, 2 topics. It's actually titled "Question Us," and we're going to spend about 5 to 10 minutes talking on, whatever it is that you feel that you want to talk about in regards to personal development. But tonight we're going to talk about time, and time is very, very, very important. But yeah, man, how was your day, man?
Man, today was pretty wonderful, man.
Yeah.
Went to go saw Harriet.
Oh man.
So that was, a good viewpoint on some things that happened. So man, I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
But man, what was most important was that I was able to bring whatever it is we're gonna bring to the podcast. I really while I was in the movie, I was really looking at what I can bring, what I can get from the movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some type of value that I can bring and tell somebody. You know what I'm saying? That,
right.
You know what I'm saying? We'll see what we can turn it into. I'm sharing the podcast right now for everybody who, if this is your first time on here with us, this is Financial Fashion Talk Podcast. I'm the CEO, Mr. Best, Mr. John Best.
And I'm the CFO, Mr. George Best.
And we usually get on here, every Monday at 7 p.m. And this is part 2 of episode 6 of this podcast. We did episode 6, part 1 last week. The CFO wasn't able to get on with me.
Yeah.
But we on right now. This is part 2 of episode 6. And we're talking about the importance of time. You know what I'm saying? We really want to shine light on the importance of time, because, you only get one chance at life. You only get one. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no restart buttons like the PS4s and the Xboxes.
Nah, none of that.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no restart button. So we want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, for one, we're living out our purpose, man. Doing things, something, we want to make sure we spend our time doing things that actually mean something. Not only for you, though. You know what I'm saying? Not actually having selfish.
That's not what time is for, And we want to make sure we spend our time being productive and not deductive.
Say what?
We want to make sure we spend our time being productive and not deductive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
further explain that, bro.
Well, I mean, when you deduct, that means subtract.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you pass up, time to add value, you know what I'm saying, or to pull out knowledge, or being positive in any type of way, then you're being deductive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But being productive is being able to put yourself in a position when you have the time to add value to yourself or, to somebody else. You know what I mean? Depending on whether it's knowledge, money, food. Whatever the case may be, you just want to make sure that you're spending the time being productive. And that's kind of what we're going to get into tonight.
Right. And then it really all boils down to how you value yourself. Because if you don't value yourself, you won't value your time. And that's really what it boils down to. Sometimes you don't view yourself as being important enough to tell somebody that what you're doing is important. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we can be doing something, but we don't see the worth in it enough.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? To actually tell somebody it's important to you to block off that time. You see what I'm saying? What's really important to you? Because sometimes we're let down we'll let down on our responsibilities of what we're really supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying, for somebody else.
I mean, I agree, but I mean that also goes to the point of, you know, seeing the value in yourself.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you see the value in yourself, that's actually the drive. You know, the stronger the drive that you're gonna put towards whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's the more time you're gonna put towards whatever it is that you're doing.
Facts. Right. And see, the more you value that, you'll start delegating your time because you know what's more important to you.
Right.
And see, the reason why we don't delegate time is because either somebody else is delegating it for us, or we really ain't got no purpose behind what we're doing with our time.
Right.
And see, you gotta really find out what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, most definitely.
Because if somebody else is doing your job, you can't do your job.
Right. Right.
So you gotta really know what you're doing in order to really delegate your time.
Right. And see, that's the perfect, man. Like, that's why you shouldn't just like find yourself, I gotta get up because I gotta go to work.
That's purpose. You gotta have purpose.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, man. I don't want to get up and I gotta be to work at 3 o'clock, so I get up at 2 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I could have been up earlier, you know, using time to be more productive inside of my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because once you clock in, shit, like, that's daytime.
And we also want to bring out how important it is as a leader. You know, being a leader, leaders have the capability of finding out what they're supposed to be doing and making most of that time to do it. You see what I'm saying? See, we lose a lot of times not knowing what it is we're supposed to be doing. And see, that takes it back to having a purpose. Right. See, when you have purpose behind the time you're using, that means you know what you're doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's gonna give you a sense of importance with that time.
Right.
See, if what you're doing is not important to you, you're
not gonna spend no time on it.
You're really not.
You're not gonna spend no time.
You're not gonna invest time on it.
Well, you're not gonna invest no time.
Right.
Yeah,
So that's what we need to get in the habit of doing. It's really about investing time instead of spending time. You see what I'm saying? I brought this out. You know, we talked about this a little bit on the last podcast, and we talked about it, you know, with the empowerment in 30 seconds or less.
Right.
We're shining light on getting in the habit of investing our time instead of spending our time.
Right.
That goes from what you spend your time doing. That goes from who you spend your time with. Because a lot of times, bro, we get into relationships with people, not even just girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, and husband. We get into like just on a day-to-day association with people, you know, that waste time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, you really,
it's pointless.
Right. You don't get favorable results because you're not doing the necessary things that you're supposed to be doing according to your purpose in life. That's causing you to spend time and waste time instead of investing time.
Right.
Doing things that's going to benefit you in the future.
Right. And the reason you don't want to spend time is the reason you don't want to spend time and you want to invest time, because when you invest, you know, you're pretty much looking for a return. You know
right.
Yeah,
let's talk about that.
You know what I'm saying? You're looking for a return. Just like when you clock in at work, like Friday, I'm looking for that check.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it goes the same way when you invest time in yourself. You know what I'm saying? When I take out time to read this book, you know, when I take out time to watch this video, when I take out time to listen to this message,
right.
You know what I mean? I'm actually taking that time out to increase, you know, my way of thinking. You know what I mean? I'm trying to increase my thought process, you know, but it all depends on how you value your time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, man, if you don't see the value in what you're doing, then you're not going to spend time doing it.
Right. And see, that what you're talking about right there, bro, you brought up a good point because you started talking about personal value.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, personal value is you actually putting time into growing yourself.
Yeah.
Because you adding your self-worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The more you have up here, the more worth you have. You see what I'm saying? Like, you become what you think, right?
Right. Yeah, the more worth you have up here is the more value you have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily just for you personally. You know what I'm saying? Then you put yourself in a position to add value to others. You know what I'm saying? To add values different places that you are. You know what I mean? You can add value in different situations, you know, whatever the case may be.
Right. So man, this tells you right here, bro, that life has to have a greater meaning than just breathing.
Right.
Because each and every last one of us have a purpose.
Right.
Like I just went to see and saw Harriet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Those who have purpose behind what they're doing, they're able to accomplish great things.
Right.
Because they have a lot more driving them than the average person.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? A person with no purpose,
more like daisy.
The energy is different.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The energy is different. You're not gonna be an initiator.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Part of you being a leader and part of you taking charge and part of you having the purpose behind you, it gives you that ability, bro, to go further.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is about people that's living with a purpose. They just able to do a lot more than the average person, bro. Like, all of the people in history that has accomplished a lot of things. We ain't even got to talk about history. Just people who just believe, period. Just believers, period. Bro.
Right. And what they're doing. You know.
Yeah.
Well, you like you actually tap into that creative part of you that comes from God. You know what I'm saying? That's what
exactly.
that is. You know what I'm saying? Like you're able, a person that's like if you dedicated to what you're doing, like you actually tapping into that creative characteristic that come from God. You know, and that's why people that are dedicated and have a purpose in their life, man, when they spend their time going in the direction or doing whatever it is that their purpose is, like they're able to create. You know what I'm saying? They're able to create.
Exactly, because it's like when you know your purpose, you know you got a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And see, the job that's given to those type of people with a purpose, all of us have one, but you know, not everybody know what their purpose are.
Right.
They don't know what their purpose. A lot of people don't know what it is, but those that know what their purpose are, bro,
right,
they get things, bro, that I don't know how else to explain it, bro. It's like, by you knowing that purpose, bro, you know what it takes to get where you're trying to go.
Well, I mean,
it's like, hold on, wait, bro. Like, you go ahead, bro. But
like
I'm saying, like,
I'm gonna just put it in like layman's terms.
Yeah, put it like that.
You
bro,
know what I'm saying? Like I could like come in the house, I can unlock the door and come in the house. You know, but I'm tired. I want to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? But I can sleep right there on the floor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I want to go get into bed. Like if I don't put no effort towards going to get into bed, I want to go get into bed. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm dedicated to going to get into bed, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk up them stairs. I'm gonna go inside my room and I'm gonna lay down in my bed.
Right.
But I mean that's like layman's terms. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm saying though, we talking about it to put it in terms of time. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about time. So I'm saying like,
okay,
without actually knowing your purpose, bro, you don't know the importance of time.
That's
you see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Because every person that know they got a purpose, you know, when you have a purpose, you're not here forever. Like you already know, like I'm not gonna live forever, and I have a certain time.
You got a direction,
right?
Like,
so I'm saying though,
you're trying to get to.
But that gives you like, okay, like I don't have long to do this.
Right.
Like you get a certain, it's like you get a fire behind you.
Right.
You got like you got. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a burning desire. Like you already know. Like I ain't got a lot of time to get this done.
Okay. Take this for example. Okay. Just like a few months ago.
Yeah.
We went to New Jersey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like usually when I'm on my job, man, it takes me a while, you know, to get done with my route.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But this particular time, you know what I'm saying? I was moving with a purpose.
Right.
You know, because I didn't want to make everybody late, you know what I'm saying, so we can leave on time.
Right.
All right, y'all. So I started my route. I usually start my route about 6:30. And I'll probably get back, you know, depending on how it is, about 2:30, 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? But this particular day, you know, I knew we was going to New Jersey, you know, and I was excited about it. I had somewhere to go. I had something to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I used that motivation. And I was done by 11:30. I was done by 11:30.
And that's
man.
how many hours earlier than you used.
Exactly, man. But the thing that initiated me to move in that direction, it was because I had somewhere to be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew like there was a certain time we were supposed to leave. It was a certain time we were supposed to get there. It was a certain time, you know what I'm saying? But that's how a person with purpose moves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I
exactly.
took and I used that as an example. Like, okay, if I can do that, just knowing that I have somewhere to be that day, why can't I move like that every day?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I got something to do. I got somewhere to be. You know what I'm saying? Like on Monday, like I got something to do. I got somewhere to be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what separates a person with purpose from a person that's just living.
Facts, bro. Like we just said, man, like when you don't have that purpose behind it, you don't really see the value in your time. Like you got, like sometimes we'll say it to people. We get power enough to say it to people, like, I ain't got time for that.
Right.
Like that's really what that means. Like certain stuff you just don't have time for anymore. Once you get to know what your purpose is and you know what you're here to do and you know how important it is for you to do it, you really like you zone out on stuff that's not important, that's not conducive to your purpose.
Right.
So it's just like, I ain't got time for that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you got somewhere to be on Monday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody come hit you up about going to a club or going out to a bar. I ain't got time for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you know what your purpose is.
Exactly. And then knowing what your purpose is, then you start valuing your time more.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm gonna get into this. Like, you'll start excluding things. You'll start excluding people. You know what I'm saying? You'll start excluding like situations, man. Like,
we getting into it now.
You'll start to like dismiss a lot of things. Like once you understand your purpose and you know the value of your time and you know you can't waste your time on things that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like even with yourself, man, not just people, man, not just things, but like even like foolishness. Like you'll lay it to the side. You know what I mean? Because you understand the value of time. You know what I'm saying? And like, man, shoot, man, see, God created time. And time has an ending. You know what I mean? Time is a thing that has an ending. And I feel that that's why time is very, very, very important. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's an analogy that I would like to bring up, bro. Somebody brought this analogy up.
Go ahead.
And it's a perfect analogy that explains what we're talking about. Now you have a group of kids, right? You have a group of children. They play sports. Now, mind you, they all on the same team.
Right.
But see, the circumstances is different.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You might have one kid, they got a nice household. You know what I'm saying? He live in the suburbs. You feel me? His parents got money. So he ain't got to make it to the league.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He don't have that sense of drive like, I got to get my family out the hood, or I got to buy my mother a house.
Right.
Or I got, he ain't got that same drive.
Right.
Like the kid that's in the hood, that's living in the projects,
right.
sleeping on the floor. You see what I'm saying? Like, he got more of a purpose. He gonna have more of a drive because he got more things to force him to do what he need to do to get out of his situation.
Right.
He got more of a purpose. So he know. So okay. After practice, that be the person that stay overtime.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like he know the value of his time.
Right.
He know what he want to be. He know his purpose. So like, I really want to make it where I need to be. So I'm gonna stay out here and do these sprints.
Right.
I'm gonna stay out here these extra 3 hours and do these sprints. While old boy at the crib with his feet up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because the purpose is what separates you as a leader.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Your purpose is what separates your time, bro. It values your time because leaders, bro, they don't spend their time doing things that average people do.
Right. Right, man. They can't. Their mind won't let them.
Exactly.
Their mind won't let them. And I'm glad you went into that direction, man. I'm glad you went into that direction. I'm glad
that person went into that direction.
Because like check out some of the greatest athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball players in the history of the NBA.
Right.
But he spent a lot of time, perfecting his game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look at Kobe Bryant. like everybody say, you know, Kobe was just like Michael Jordan. You know, Kobe patterned his game after Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
If he didn't spend time doing that, you know what I'm saying? If he didn't spend the amount of time that he spent doing that, you know what I'm saying? Then he wouldn't have been able to perfect.
When he got that good.
Exactly. But see, these are great minds, are great people, you know, leaders. You know what I'm saying? That actually knew the value of their time and what it would bring them to.
Let's get into some more. You bringing up a lot of good points, bro. So that takes us here. Let's talk about the importance of going the extra mile.
Oh man.
You see what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
those with a purpose, bro.
Right.
They're not easily to turn back.
Right.
It's not easy to make them turn back.
Not easily deterred.
They're not easily deterred.
Yeah.
Because, bro, it's like it gets down to a point where you feel like you got to do this or die.
Right. And that's how it gotta be.
That's really what it is,
that's
bro.
How it gotta be.
Your purpose is really like why you're here, like why you're living, your sense of fulfillment, like your sense of duty, like the duty you're supposed to be doing while you're here, bro. Like that's how serious your purpose is.
Right.
So when you find that out, it's like I gotta spend the rest of my life doing this.
Right.
Or die.
Exactly. And dying, like not dying physically.
Right. I'm saying like
yeah.
You wouldn't want to live.
Right.
You're gonna live an unhappy, unfulfilled life.
Right.
When you have no purpose.
Right.
No sense of living, no sense of life.
But what about those that know their purpose?
Hey, those that know their purpose, bro, is.
But I'm saying, what about those that know their purpose, but they don't move in it? Like, what about them? Like
the same way. Knowing your purpose and not doing your purpose is the same as not knowing it.
That's true.
But I'm saying is at the end of the day, you got to do your purpose, bro.
That's true. But see, like you still have people that know exactly what they need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? They know exactly when they're supposed to do it. But it's like
they have a harder life.
Like Power. Like I'd rather watch Power.
I put it like this, bro. I get the point. I get the point where you're going because it's like, bro, you can know, like you said, you can know your purpose, but shy away from it. Like you can run from your purpose. Like you know you're supposed to be doing this, but you'd rather be doing something else. But see, those like that, they're gonna have a harder time because they know their purpose.
True that.
You see what I'm saying? Like because you purposely not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So it's gonna be harder for you to live because like you know what you're supposed to be doing in life, but you just purposely not living out your purpose.
Right.
Like, so you going against the way you're supposed to be living. Like you going against like what you're really supposed to be here to do.
Right.
So how can something be going good for you when you know your purpose and you just decide not to do it?
Yeah.
So that's right. It's really like worse to not like it worse. That's what I'm saying. Like for us, certain things that we know according to, you know, the gospel. You know what I'm saying? We're held to something else. You know what I'm saying? We're held to a higher expectation.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We don't have the same expectations because you know better.
Right.
So once you know better, the punishment is worse. The punishment is worse because you know better.
Right.
That's why when we do something wrong, you know, the mama come in and be like, what you doing that for? You know better than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why.
Whoop your ass.
Exactly. That's one of the main reasons they give you a whooping because you know better.
Right.
Because sin is not imputed where there's no law. Like, if you don't know better, then there's no point of giving a person
no punishment.
That's what I'm saying.
If you ignorant to a thing, okay, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about those that's not ignorant. You know what I'm saying? That's not ignorant to a thing. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna do it.
And I get that. Like,
yeah.
And I get that because like you're gonna be in a worse position, like mentally, because you know what you're supposed to be doing. And you going against what you're supposed to be doing.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like I accept my demise.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like I accept it. Like I accept it. Like whatever. I don't care what mama said.
Shoot. That is true.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Like I'm dead. Like
look, another good point came up. Fear. Like a person knowing his purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But refuse to do what he's supposed to be doing. Like fear can scare you from acting on what you know you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's so true, bro. That's so true because like I knew we should have been did a podcast.
Yeah.
but I wasn't confident in myself. Like I was in unbelief that I could actually do it. I was in unbelief that I actually can reach these bounds.
Right.
Because bro, fear will paralyze you and create things that's not really real.
Right.
Like if I can really, it's real, but you make it realer. You see what I'm saying? Like you make it bigger than what it is.
And I can say this. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you don't really know. You didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? So the fear of the unknown.
Right.
You know, and like I said before, man, it kind of puts you in a state of paralysis. You know what I'm saying? So you will actually hold your own self back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you will actually utilize your time in doing things that's pleasurable in an unpurposeful way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can witness to that like so many times. Like I've been in that position where I've used my time to do things that are pleasurable in an unpurposeful way.
Delayed gratification.
And then on top of that, and like when you get the results of it, it's like, why did I waste my time doing that?
Right.
But yeah, man, you got to use your time wisely, you know.
So yeah, we also gonna get into our segment questionnaires. We got carried away talking about this amazing topic, you know, about time, because we feel like we have a lot of it when we really don't. Like, cause let's keep it 100. We feel like we got all the time in the world to live our life and have fun and do all of this, and we forget the real reason why we're here. You see what I'm saying? And that's really what's most important. That's the only way you're gonna value your time. That's the only way you can start delegating your time is by finding your purpose. And that's really what it's all about. You have to live with a purpose. So you won't be wasting time. You'll be putting your time towards something that's going to be beneficial, not only for you, but maybe the generations after you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Leaders create change.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So by you being a leader and having a purpose behind what you're doing, man, like the results are like in your favor. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't know the exact results we're gonna get, but we know it's gonna be in our favor because we live in life with a purpose behind it.
And then like what you saying that, like, don't look. I mean, you always should have an expectation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Good to have
it's good to have an expectation, but don't move in anything like expecting something great to happen immediately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just move in what what your purpose is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just move in that direction with no expectation. I would say no expectation. Just move in that direction, expecting great things to happen.
But see, like you just said, I feel like you really can't help but move with an expectation when you know your purpose.
Well, that's true.
Because it's like, bro, when you really see your purpose and really see like the life is leaving my body, I need to be doing this while the life is leaving my body. Like once you see that, bro, like it's like you don't have an expectation of like some big reward because it gives you personal fulfillment.
That's what I was about
to say. You see what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I was about to say.
There's not a certain like pitch. Like, yeah, you might have certain things that come along with you doing your purpose, but I'm saying like you already know those things is coming. So you're not per se doing it for those things. You're really doing it because you know you're supposed to be doing it, and it gives you personal fulfillment and personal peace to know that you're doing what you're here to do.
Right.
So it's like all those things that we think we want, you know what I'm saying? It comes along with it.
Right.
So you don't have to do it for that. You're not doing it
but you're not focused on it. You're not focused on just that aspect of it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I was about to say, man, and you know, I would just word it different, but move in your purpose, being thankful and glad that you know what your purpose is.
Exactly. Gratitude, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, man. And that'll help. You know, that'll help you direct your time, and that'll help you, you know, with the information that you take in.
And let's shine light on this, bro. Let's not pretend that we're gonna always know the outcome. Like, you're not gonna always know. Sometimes you do know the outcome of what you're doing, but sometimes you just don't know the outcome you're gonna get. So that's what I'm saying. That's why we don't supposed to be fixed on looking for the outcomes.
Right.
We're not supposed to be doing what we're doing just about what we're gonna receive from it. Right. You gotta have a greater purpose behind it because you might not get what you thought you were gonna have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it gotta be a greater purpose behind what you're doing, bro. It can't be specifically for like specifically for something.
Yeah,
like it gotta have you gotta have like a bigger picture. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, your purpose is like the reason you really breathing, bro. Like you live to do this thing.
But then I would say this, man. I would say this. You know, if you do know what your purpose is, you know what I mean, and you do know the value of your time, you love it so much until you're not looking for things.
Exactly.
Because you love it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're doing something you love, it's not a job.
Exactly.
You're doing what you love to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, man, like if you are in your purpose, you know what your purpose is, and you know the value of your time is, like, you're not gonna be looking for it. You're not gonna have an expectation for carnality.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have a carnal expectation because it's so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? It actually like brings you a inner gratification.
That's what it is, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, man. And before we get into our segment, because we got to go into our segment, man, we can carry it away about this great topic that I keep talking about. But we going on our segment question us. What our segment question us is, as a CFO already explained it, I just like to make it really clear on what we're doing. The segment is called Question Us. So it's like you can get either a topic and a question, or two topics or two questions, and ask us about it, and we'll spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about it. But the questions and topics have to do with personal development. It got to have to do with personal development because we are personal development experts. So anything about being better as a person, getting, anything you want to talk about is open. The comment section is open. You can comment on what we're talking about now, or you can shine light on something that you want to talk about. We're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about it, bro.
Yeah.
But what we're going to go into now, man, we're going to let y'all can comment whatever y'all want. Y'all can comment whatever y'all want. Like, it really don't matter. We're going to keep talking, but y'all can comment, you know what I'm saying, anytime y'all want.
Whenever you get ready.
Right. So we also, man, want to shine light on how important it is to practice leadership. You see what I'm saying? Because if you don't actually lead your time, you can't control your time. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you have a job, you have the privilege of having a schedule already made for you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But see, when you have your own time, you have the power to make your own schedule. Like, you know what you're supposed to be putting your time towards. Like, I feel like you are your own purpose. You are your own person, and you capable enough of making your own schedule.
Right.
Like, you can make your own schedule. You can schedule a vacation if you want to. I feel like you're very capable of doing that on your own.
Right. Why should somebody have to tell me? Why should I have to fill out a form to ask somebody, can I go here and can I go there? You know what I'm saying?
But we're not even. But we're not even trying to. I know we're not trying to shine light on it. Like, I know we're not trying to get on here and talk about jobs versus. Nah, we're not getting on here to talk about jobs. The whole point of it all is you get into a place where you can have more control of your time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the reason why we can't control our time is because somebody had already controlled it for us. Like, you already on somebody else's schedule.
Right.
So you can't control that time because it's blocked off for somebody else.
Right.
So leaders, bro, they do what's best for them in their current situation. So if you do have a job, that don't mean nothing. You still have some type of form of controlling your time because you get off it. You don't work 24 hours a day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't work 24 hours a day. So we can't sit here and say that your whole day is booked up working. Right. So it's a certain amount of hours during that day that you can do something for yourself.
Right. I mean, when you get up before you can go to work, you know what I'm saying? When you get up, but it's all about how you value your time.
Be a leader and take control of your time, because what you do with your time is really going to yield results.
It depends. Right. What you do with your time dictates the results that you get in your life.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. What we do with our time actually dictates the results that we get, in our life.
Let's talk about emotional spending, bro. You know how just like we talk about emotional spending with money, like people are emotional spenders.
Yeah.
We emotionally spend time. Like, when I say spend time, I mean waste time. I'm saying like you might have an associate or something. You might have an associate that you're dealing with, that you spend time with. So you really gotta figure out whether you spending time with that person or like, cause you can be emotionally attached to somebody and you want to spend time with them.
Yeah.
You're not actually investing time. You be spending time because you're emotionally attached to the person. So I'm saying like while you're emotionally attached to this thing or this person, you're actually wasting time because you're not doing something that's most important. You see what I'm saying?
Or you're not investing time and value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see, spending time is like, okay, that's why we're supposed to really pay attention who takes up our time in our life. We really got to pay attention who we spending our time with, because it's like, okay, I'm spending hours with you, but like, what are we coming with? What are we coming up with as a unit to help either one of us grow?
Right.
So that's where you really got to realize, like, okay, I like this. I like this guy or girl, but am I spending time? Am I emotionally just attached to this person, so I just want to spend time with them and not actually have anything benefiting me from it? Like, you got to really be paying attention to that. You see what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
So you got to really like pay attention and see, like, am I spending time with this person, wasting time, or am I investing time, coming up, talking about things, or adding value to each other's lives is going to benefit both of y'all?
Right. That's true. I mean, and I don't rebuttal that at all. You know what I'm saying? You definitely have to be mindful of where, who, and what you spend your time on. You know what I'm saying? And I will speak to the avenue of self. You know what I'm saying? Because you can emotionally spend time on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do that to yourself, man. Because like, man, and procrastination. Like, procrastination, man, is a real killer, man. Procrastination is a real killer.
Man, kill your drive.
You know what I'm saying?
Kill
like,
your drive.
You can procrastinate things that you need to do for yourself. You know what I mean? You can waste time on things that don't benefit you. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, man, we hold ourselves back, man. We hold ourselves back. You know, emotionally spending time being depressed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Emotionally spending time, you know, like I just said, man, doing things that are not purposeful. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm speaking in regards of personal development. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can create habits. You know what I mean? That actually make you aware of your time.
I'm trying
you
to
know
tell
what I'm saying? Like, you can start finishing things.
Right, bro. And like, bro, it becomes habitual. Like, it becomes a habit. You know what I'm saying? Of doing things that's important, because like once you start valuing your time, you see the benefits of valuing your time. Like, if you're a type of person that don't like people to waste your time, like, not don't like people to waste your time for no reason. Like, be doing something. Like, don't allow nobody to waste your time because you're doing something productive, not just because you want to be rude. Like, be really doing something with your time. Like, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna like repel people away from you, like, I don't want to be around. Like, be doing something with your time if you're trying to separate yourself from people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you want to be smart in your, you know what I'm saying? You want to be smart in your decision.
Right.
When it comes to like pointing out whether you should be spending time with this person or not. Like, you got to be deliberate on that end, bro.
Right. And like, I just want to be by myself.
Oh no, if you don't spend
time
time doing something, you know what I'm saying, you want to make sure it's gonna be productive to yourself. If it's not productive to nobody, like,
make sure it's productive.
Make sure it's productive to you first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the way you spend your time is like, it's important to you first, but see, then it'll become like to flow over into other people as well, because like, it's hard to kind of do good for just you and it be really good. Because you can't just do only good for yourself. It's impossible.
And that's it.
It's impossible.
And don't have an effect on somebody.
It's impossible. Right. Like, you can't just only do good for you without doing something for somebody else.
Right.
Because part of you doing good for you is gonna help. It's gonna like open your eyes to do it for somebody else.
Right. But not it's gonna do it for somebody else unconsciously.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because they watching you. You know what I'm saying? They like, dang, man, he tightening up. You know what I'm saying? I might need to tighten up too. You know what I'm saying?
When I say do good, I ain't talking about just treating yourself. I ain't talking about just going out and spending some money on yourself. Like I'm saying, like when you start pouring into yourself, like adding value to your own life, like you're gonna automatically be able to you're gonna be able to give it off to somebody else. Like it automatically happens because when you pouring that value into yourself, like you see the value in the lifestyle that you're beginning to live, and you want other people to see that same thing.
Yeah,
you see what
benefit from it.
Exactly.
Benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? Because once you see the results, like you want somebody else to have the results.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's inevitable that it won't happen like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you elevate your mind, like it's gonna lead you like in a direction to want to do it for somebody else.
You got to.
Right.
And that's part of that, and that's why the purpose, man, the purpose is very, 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 very important as a first step. You know what I'm saying? Like as a leader, purpose is your first step. Like you gotta have purpose. And that will lead you to delegate your time. Right. So let's talk about like practical steps of beginning to control your time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that starts with yourself, of course. Right. Like you gotta find out what's important, like what you're supposed to be doing, first of all. And that way you'll know what you're supposed to be dedicating your time to. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't delegate your time or dedicate your time if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing.
You have something to dedicate it to.
Exactly. So you gotta have a purpose first off, so you'll know what you're supposed to be delegating your time towards.
Right.
Because without a purpose, like you said, bro, we tend to like waste time.
Right. And
like I told you last week, bro, like one thing about money, like you can't save it, but you can spend less of it.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you can't actually stop time and save time, but you can decide on like what you spending it doing. Like you see what I'm saying? Like you can't save it, but you can decide like how much you spend.
Right. That's why that's why time is a commodity.
Man, what?
You know what I'm saying? Just like it's a big commodity because time ain't sold.
Better believe it, bro.
Like Kroger ain't got time, Walmart ain't, and they sell Walmart sell a lot of stuff. Like I believe they're gonna have a used car lot in a little bit.
Man, what?
You know what I'm saying? But like you can't go to Walmart and get you a 3-pack of time. You know what I'm saying? like
hey.
Yeah, let me get that 3-pack up there.
Y'all sell the time over
here? Right.
Aisle 12.
Right.
Nah, bro.
Don't work like that.
Hey, if time was able to be bought, it's very expensive, my lad. You know what I'm saying? And that's really how we supposed to do. We supposed to value our time like it's on shelves.
Man, you better.
Like I'm trying to tell you, like because like we always say, like people said a lot, life is short, but it truly is. Like you only here for a season.
But the reason that it's short because you don't know.
Right. You don't know the day.
You don't know the day. You don't know when it's gonna
You don't know the day. That tells you, bro. That tells you, bro. Like it's very important that we really find out what we supposed to be doing.
Right.
And like the first steps is really like focusing in on like you gotta consciously make a decision in your mind. Like I need to I really find out what I'm here to do.
Self-check.
You really gotta
self-check. And this is just on the lines of personal development. You know what I'm saying? Because once you start personal develop, once you start to personal develop,
big comment.
You know, it's just setting intention for your actions, time, and money.
Right, man. Set an intention for your actions, time, and money.
But
that's that's really what it is.
Yeah, that's the purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're gonna give your time towards. That's what you're gonna give your money towards, and that's what you're gonna give your actions towards. You know what I mean? Knowing what your purpose is.
Exactly. And you see what I'm saying? Like part of being intentional is actually having a plan.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like being intentional means that you're prepared. You see what I'm saying? Like I intend to do this, so I know what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying like you can't even have an intention without really like focusing in on like what I'm here to do.
Right.
So your first step would really be looking in the mirror and like asking yourself, like really seeking, like what am I here to do? So I'm saying like then based off of what you get from finding your purpose, you'll know how to delegate your time and control your time. then you'll know, like, hey, I really can't waste my time doing certain things because I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You got direction, like you said a few minutes ago, bro.
Right. But it's not gonna add. Basically, man, the thing is, you want to do what adds and not deducts.
Right,
you know
right.
what I'm saying? You want to always do what adds and not deducts.
You bring up another point.
You know what I'm saying? What's that?
Nah, first explain.
I mean,
we're gonna get to it.
But I'm just saying, like, this is like negativity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know when the last time I watched the news.
Right.
I hate watching the news.
Yeah, bro.
Because it's always something bad.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? So I won't spend my time watching the news because they are always talking about somebody dying. You know what I mean? Some food that you can't eat.
They don't have
and
value.
all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they don't have value.
But you know, doing things that add, man. You know, get you an interesting book. You know what I'm saying? Like, just things that add. You want to always find yourself doing things to add, because when you add to you, like, you can add to me.
That's the only way.
You know what I'm saying?
We was just talking about that, bro.
Yeah.
I was just mentioning that to Chelsea, bro. I was just like, you can't give, like, a slave couldn't refuse a slave. Slaves can't free slaves.
Nah.
And I also was saying, like, the best way to help the homeless, right, is to get wealthy, bro.
Right.
Like, the best way to help people who don't have nothing, like,
is to have.
Is to have.
Yeah.
Like, the only way to be a have-not is to be a have.
Right.
So I'm saying the only way that you can truly help a have-not is to be a have.
Right. That's the only way you're gonna be able to change anything.
Exactly.
Right. Because you can't change nothing if you don't have nothing to change something with.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense. Like, I wouldn't dare go talk to a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? Because how can I add value to them?
I don't know. How can you?
I could, because for one, I never been there.
True.
You know, I can say that I never been there. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
But it's, you know, like, and experience, yeah, experience, you know, is very key. You know what I'm saying? When you go, you know,
right, trying to help
audience.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Stick
bro.
to your lane.
But that really bring up a good point, bro, about the difference between assets and liabilities. Like, we're not talking about money, but you got to understand, like, we do say time is money because, like, value is the money. Like, the real money is value. Like, the money is really not paper. The money is really value.
Right.
So it's like, that's why we say time is money, because it's like time is that valuable.
That is.
Because you can be, like, the value you get from the value that you have with the time that you're spending can make you, like, you can be super productive. Like, you know the capabilities of that.
Right.
So you really can't waste it. You really can't afford to waste time.
Right. Just like you can't afford to waste money.
Exactly. So assets, you got to know the difference between, like, the time being used as an asset, time being used on assets, or time being used on liabilities. Like, you can be spending time with a person that's a liability.
Right.
Like, you can be spending time, you can be doing things that causes you to become a liability.
Right.
You don't want to become a liability because liabilities take away from.
Right.
Liabilities aren't givers; they always are takers.
Right.
So you want to always be in the space of giving. You want to always be in the space of abundance. You see what I'm saying? You can't be in that space if you're a liability. Right. You got to have something to offer, which is an asset. You want to become an asset, which means you hold value.
Right.
You got to hold value as a person. So become an asset as a person. Then you'll be able to generate assets in your pocket.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You'll be able to add value to people's lives by being an asset.
Right.
But see, when you are a liability, you can't add. You only can take.
Right.
Like you said, deduction. Deduction is for liabilities.
Right.
But production is for assets.
Right.
Like, assets produce.
Right.
Liabilities deduct.
Exactly, man. That's why you got to pay a deductible.
Exactly.
On your insurance.
Nah, for real.
You wreck your car.
You got to.
And it's like, why I got insurance?
Because you're a liability.
Right.
You're a liability. That's why.
Right, man.
I got to.
That's exactly why before you pull off the the car lot, they tell you like, nah, you gotta have full coverage.
Hey, bro, and they even got one. They even got the name on the insurance, liability.
Right.
Like I got liability insurance.
They got liability and they got full coverage.
So that tells you, bro, that liability insurance is like the cheapest insurance you can get.
It's just enough.
It's just enough for you to be able to drive on the road.
Right. For you to drive on the road. It's just enough for you to be able to drive on the road.
So that shows you right there.
That shows liability. Like you living just enough to live for yourself.
I'm trying, bro. But I'm saying like that shows you what a liability is. You see what I'm saying? Like it's the lowest thing. Like the lowest thing you can possibly be.
It has no value.
Like you have no value.
It has no value. Okay, check this out. And since we're on the lines of insurance, like check out Gap. Gap insurance is the best insurance.
Right.
Now if I got Gap insurance on my car and my car get wrecked, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna get a brand new car.
God.
I'm gonna get a brand new car.
Yeah.
If I got liability, I'm gonna probably wind up coming out of my pocket, dog. Yeah. Wind up coming out my pocket.
Bro, that's almost like when you get into a bad wreck, that's almost like no insurance.
Right.
That ain't no insurance, right? Like, cause if your car totaled, that's it.
That's it.
You got liability. You got liability, bro. You got like if you total your car, it's
better have a buddy say.
So, bro, that shows you where it is, like where it is on the meter, like.
Right.
Liabilities, you low.
Is at the bottom of the totem pole.
Like you really you in a place where like you really can't help nobody else, buddy.
And it's
you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
not trustworthy.
And it's not even just talking about money. Like let's not even just say that. Like I'm not saying like a person is like only a liability when he can't monetarily give something. But it's like you have to personally hold value as a person. Like you have to personally add value to people's lives, like without even giving them $1. Like you might not even have to give them anything. Like you can add value to a person's life without giving them a dime.
Oh man, bro. Okay, and just like you said, you have to personally hold value.
You personal value, bro.
Okay, man, and that's just like when you wasting your time, you know, portraying something that you're not.
Right.
You're actually living through a filter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And was a filter created to hold something?
Nope.
No, things just pass right through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So like you can, and that's why I say, man, about that like social media stuff, man, and you trying to live like this and that, you actually wasting your time living through a filter. You know what I'm saying? You put your pictures up and you saying it's all good, but it's really not.
It's really not.
Because you making it look like that though, because you living through a filter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you really ain't got no value, but this picture say.
Let me pretend like I am.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but yeah,
that's true, bro. Great point, bro.
But yeah, man. See, we like nearing the end of this thing, man. So we want to come up, you know, just present some steps, man, some habits that we could all utilize in making our time beneficial.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just got a couple things here. Just a couple things, man. A completion. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Like make spending your time like completing things, and like that'll give you a sense of security. You know what I mean? And make it a habit. And it don't even have to be nothing big. You know what I'm saying? Find your book and read a page. Say I'm gonna read a page a day, right. and make sure you do it. You know what I'm saying? Do it every day, and that'll start creating a habit of you completing things. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And like it'll seep off. You know, it'll seep off into something else.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it'll continue to grow. Right. And continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? But and I can speak on completion because, man, I start things, but a lot of times like I don't finish them. You know what I'm saying? But it's easy to start things, but I believe it's harder to finish them. You know what I'm saying? But I speak on completion, you know, because that's a habit that I had to formulate for myself, man. As far as personal development goes.
Oh yeah, like, bro. Oh yeah, completion is a very good point because like in completing, you start to win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like complete means won. Right. Like victory.
Like done.
You know what I'm saying? So by you getting that victory, by you finishing,
yeah,
like you know what it tastes like. You see what I'm saying? Like a like a dog eating blood. You know what I'm saying? Like a dog eating some meat. Like
a
like an animal, like a wild animal eating some meat.
Taste
like
that blood. It's like
you taste that victory.
Yeah,
you taste that victory of completing something.
Right.
You start to feel good and get confident in yourself, and you start to love it because you love how it make you feel.
Right.
So by you reading that one page, you gonna be like, I love it.
Right.
You gonna read two.
Right.
Like
exactly.
I'm like,
you gonna
okay,
up it up.
You gonna up it up. Like I done did it one day. Like I done got through that. Like I never read it before, but I did one day. Right. I did it. I started doing a page a day. Then you're gonna start getting, you're just gonna start being obsessed with it.
Right.
Like you starting to love reading now.
Mm-hmm.
So you start your page is starting to go up. You went from one page, 2 pages to a whole chapter a day. You see what I'm saying? So completion, bro, is a good point, bro. I know you got some more. So
no, that's it, yeah, man.
Oh, that's just shit.
And no, like it's funny, man. It's funny term, man, but we gotta stop verbally masturbating.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Verbally masturbating. It's like you want the results of completing the process, without going through the process.
Right, I know what you're saying. It's like you ain't doing nothing, but you feel good talking about it. Like it feels like even though like even though like some people like they would really like to drive a Benz.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But they already have accepted that they're not gonna ever drive a Benz in their life.
So I talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, I know I ain't gonna ever have a Benz in my life. So what makes me feel good is just talking about it and having an imagination.
Right. I'm gonna picture it in my mind.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be satisfied.
But see, that's not enough. It starts in the mind, but see, that's not enough. It gotta go beyond it gotta go beyond the thought of you just having it. It really gotta you gotta really picture yourself. Like you gotta feel like you deserve to have it. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what makes you go.
Right.
That's what makes you go after it. Like you gotta believe that you deserve it. You gotta believe like that you're able to get it.
Whatever it
is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Right, bro.
Right. Don't just be satisfied with having a conversation with somebody about it.
Like that's not enough. Like it's not enough to just talk about it, bro.
Right.
Like and that's really, you know what I'm saying, a lot of what we are, you know what I'm saying, personally. Mm-hmm. Like it's not so much about talking about plans. It's about execution. Right. Like you said, completion. Right. That's really that's a synonym. Like execution is completion. Like you gotta carry out whatever it is that you doing. Like it's not enough to suffice, like you say, bro. It's not enough to say, okay, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. Like because talking don't get results. Like action get results. Yeah. So it's like we're getting into the habit of getting results. Right. You see what I'm saying? So we have to get in the habit of executing if you want to get in, in the habit of getting the right results. Right. It goes back to what we were just saying, like the whole point of this podcast, like the results you want is in the time you use in your life. Like the results you want
are in the time you use.
Right. That's really what it is. Yeah. Like, results equals time.
Right.
Results equals what you're doing. Like,
right.
Point blank period. Like you can't be expecting to get results of something that you're not doing. Like it's funny that I look in the mirror every morning and expect to see like a defined six pack.
But if you ain't,
I don't even diet enough for I don't diet enough. You see what I'm saying? Like you looking for the results, but you haven't even put in the time. Like you haven't even put in the value of your time to get to where you want to go. So it's not enough, bro. Right. It's not enough for me to be talking about how bad I want a six pack, or you know what I'm saying, or just looking in the mirror expecting it, but you ain't doing what you're supposed to do with your time.
Right. To get it.
Exactly. Right. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, completion. You gotta first complete the things that you're supposed to be doing in order to get the results that you want. So like you said, man, steps, practice completion. And I add a couple of steps to that before we get out of here because it's coming up on an hour. We have like one comment with our segment question us, but it's all good. We still love y'all. We still appreciate y'all for coming and watching this, interacting with us, just by showing up. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? But
appreciate the support.
Number one, man, when it comes to your time, it's hard to see value in your time when you don't have a purpose behind your time. Like if you're just living, like if you don't have really you don't have a sense of purpose in your life, you just used to just going to work and doing normal things that you always have done, like you need to first get some type of purpose, find out what your purpose is, and then that way you'll be able to like dedicate your time to something fulfilling that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your first step.
And on the lines of that, man, it's like, you know, we become very systematic.
Right,
we become very systematic, you know, and this allows us, you know what I mean, to delegate our time. Yeah, it is. But yeah, man, we get into a mindset of being systematic, you know, doing the same thing repetitiously. You know what I'm saying?
The wrong things repetitiously.
Right, the wrong thing repetitiously. You know, because look at the results.
Right.
Look at the results we get.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And we think you can save, and work, and you know things are gonna be different. But you actually have to step outside of you can create a system. Like, there's nothing wrong with being systematic, but it's the system. You know what I mean? It's the system that you delegate your time to.
I mean, and even in that, bro, like we said earlier, bro, we're not really trying to make the distinction about like working and not working.
No, I was just saying like being.
No, I'm adding on to your point. I agree.
Right.
I agree, because I just want them to know like that's not what you're saying. Like that's not what you're trying to say. Like that's not what you're not trying to say. Like, okay, like the only way you can control your time is if you don't work a job. Like that's the only way you can truly have the time to yourself. Yeah, but I'm saying like in any type of position that you have in life right now, there are certain ways that you can, like, there are certain things that you can do right now, no matter the position no matter the place you are in life, no matter how much money you have in your bank account, no matter who you work for, it don't really matter. You can do something right now to control your time, whether you got a boss or not. Like, it's something that you can do right now, this instant, to take some of your time back. And like, you might not be able to like go, you know what I'm saying? Like, they might not be able to just go and quit their job today or tomorrow.
I know I can.
So I'm saying like, I'm saying everybody can't do that. Everybody is not in a situation where they can just be like up and just leave and just like, I'm just gonna control my own time, and just like, and then you got, you know, the world start falling in on you. So you know what I'm saying? Like, start where you are right now and work your way into controlling all your time.
Create a system.
Create a system, like you said. Create a system to where you can, you know, use your time valuably enough to where to buy that time back. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, somebody got the time, like somebody controlling your time. Right. So you need to be able to create enough value so you can get that time back from them. Mm. You see what I'm saying? Because you're on rented time right now. Like, you on 40 hours a week, not even including overtime. You on 40 hours a week, not including overtime, on somebody's schedule they created for you. So that's not even your time no more. They bought your time by paying you. Mm-hmm. So you gotta make enough value to pay them back to get your time back. Like, hey, you can have your money. Like, I got my own bread now. Like, I'm willing to make my own schedule.
What you was giving.
I'm big enough to make my own schedule now. Right. I'm taking off the training wheels. I'm taking off the baby diaper. Like we say, we're getting off the titty. Right? But yeah, man, it's coming to a close. We already we reached the hour already. It's a pleasure being on here with you guys. We really went in depth. Like, we really almost like talked a straight hour through. We didn't even get a lot of questions or topics through Question Us, bro. So we really got into it. You know what I'm saying? We really got comfortable and got into it. But nevertheless, man, we want to see y'all. What we gonna do episode 8 on? Yeah. All right, see y'all next Monday at 7 p.m. for episode 7. Episode 7, Financial Fashion Talk Podcast. Episode 7 will be next Monday at 7 p.m. Thank you for coming on the CFO pages to join our podcast for the part 2 of episode 6. And you already know what time it is. I'm the CEO, Mr. Best.
And I'm the CFO, Mr. Best.
And you already know what it is, man. We out.